Nick Percat leaving MSR. This is another Speed Cafe article. And it had no substance. It had nothing going for it. It just said, oh, Nick Percat might be leaving MSR. And there was no evidence. They just said, oh, he might be leaving, No, MSR aren't ruling it out. And then they give you the quote. But they don't really say anything. That all Matt Stone said was, the silly season throws up anything. Like, you could have been Speed Cafe trying to feed something and get him to respond to something to make a headline, and it's just so dumb. Obviously Nick Percat's not having a great season, but I don't think MSR want to get rid of him because how did he go at Townsville? He did a pretty solid job. Right, Cam Hill didn't do any better. He didn't do much better. So I don't see a reason why. I don't think Nick Percat's blaming the team. I think he's pretty happy at MSR. He's not happy about the season he's having. He has scored a podium and he got a trophy. So it's not a Walkinshaw year. It's not an LD. I mean, Walkinshaw he got podium for. LDM he got podium for. Every team he's driven for, he's got a podium for. But I don't think 2025 MSR is anything is reasonably compared to 2022, 2023 Walkinshaw or 2015, 2016 LDM. MSR is better than that. So I don't think he feels that bad. He is battling in the mid pack and maybe struggling to extract the speed that he needs, but he's not having such a bad season that he needs to leave. I think they even said, MSR said it's up to Nick, basically. So it's a load of rubbish, and it's Speed Cafe trying to make a headline that actually add nothing. We're hearing, Cam Hill's going to go to BJR to drive a Toyota. Why? Are we going to see to replace Bryce Forward, which is so stupid, right? Imagine a guy doing such a good job for your team, and Cam Hill brings his own sponsors. We know that. Bryce is bringing sponsors. He's bringing middies. I don't know if he brought Shaw or what exactly the arrangement is at BJR, how you bring sponsorship in. I heard that Todd Hazelwood was supposed to bring his own sponsors, and so that was what he was in charge of in 2020 and 21. That Todd Hazelwood brought his own sponsors, and he basically was like, "Here's a blank car, put some stickers on it to make your weekend happen." And obviously Bryce for the first 3 years had middies, and then select weekends this year he's got middies. But I don't know. I don't think Bryce Forward should be kicked to the curb just because a guy who won a race this year is available. That's just like, one guy who can bring sponsorship versus another guy who can bring sponsorship. Unless, and I think Cam Hill brings Superglass, and so that's one that he could bring to BJR if he even is leaving. But Speed Cafe seems to be saying that that's what's going on. I'm just not happy about it. I don't like the idea. I think it's a lot like Cam Waters going from Tickford to Walkinshaw. You're going from one team where you got to where you know the package, you know the situation, and going to another team where you really don't know. Like MSR versus BJR, as far as I'm concerned, they're so similar that it's almost pointless to change to one. So, you can get podiums for MSR, you can get podiums for BJR, but that's about as good as it gets. MSR at Albert Park, they seem to just suddenly do well. They did it last year, they did it this year. Same deal at Tassie. It just suddenly do well. MSR have actually got a history of doing well at Tassie, which is interesting. Since 2021, Zane Goddard got into, was it top 10 shootout? Top 10 shootout? Top 15 shootout? No, it was progressive qualifying. So it was Q3. that Goddard got into. Started 5th or something crazy. Jack Smith also got on there. So there was something about some people just got lucky and nailed their laps. And so, yeah, Zane Goddard put it up there in 2021. 2022, Jack LeBrock comes in, slams it on the front row, but then he crashes during the first race and then has like a pretty messed up car for the one he actually has front row starting. Nails the start, and I think it was the second lap, the thing just broke down under him, the front uprights or whatever, just they broke down, and so he ended up in the pits for. Don't know if he finished that race, but there is. I think Hazelwood was in the mix like all weekend as well in 22 for MSR. Then in 23, obviously both Cam Hill and Jack LeBrock were doing well at Tassie. So MSR have got a pretty strong history of being good at Tassie. So some teams have got that certain track they just rock up and nail it.